Hello, everybody. This is Jeff Stacklin. I'm the Director of Communications at Perkins Local Schools. Hopefully you all know me. But anyways, I am the sender of many emails and messages and communique to our parents, families, staff here at Perkins Local Schools. And this video is a tutorial on how to use our mass communication system, Messages XRE, which we use to send messages at Perkins Local Schools. So we have the opening screen here. It's really easy. You'll go to perkinsschools.parentlink.net and it'll take you here to this page. And by the way, digress for a second, there is a quick start guide which you should have received with a link to this video. So hopefully, and you can walk through that, and it's, future references, you won't need to watch the video. You can just probably use that doc to access this. But anyways, okay. So to get in, I have Google sign-in single sign-in set up. So instead of remembering a user ID and password, you just come down here to Google, continue with Google, and it will open. There it is. Okay. And I have two accounts actually. An administrator and a staff, basically, and that's used just basically as testing, the second one. So I use my main account. I'm gonna close out of that. Okay, so we're in here. This is the main menu for messages. To create a message, there's actually two ways. You can go up here, click messages, and kind of work your way through the system, or you just come down here at the bottom and click on create message. Easy peasy. Okay, so here we are. This is the messages fields. You'll see some different options up here: inbox, outbox, groups, automated messages, surveys, library, templates. Most of that you just ignore. We're on the create message field, and that's most important. The title field. In this opening screen, the title is basically, that is our subject line. But it's also the title of the message. So, since it is our subject line, I want to be very direct. Say I'm going to use an example today that we're closing school due to winter weather in July, or June as it is. So what I'm going to do is Perkins schools closed today due to winter weather. Keep it succinct, keep it clear, concise. Sometimes if it's a critical communication, I add in an alert, parent notice, important. I like the word alert because it does maybe draws a little more attention. So that's helpful. And then when you click on the next field, you'll notice that the subject line has copied automatically down here to the subject line, which is good. So, and then the next field is search recipients. This is probably the most difficult one because there's a lot of different ways. You're going to want to, depending on who your message is being sent to, the audience, it varies. And for very specific kind of messages, you might want to talk to me. And we can, like, if you're looking at sending messages to the baseball team or the parents of the baseball team, we can create a group for that. And it's a relatively easy process. But we'll talk about that at either a later video or maybe just come see me directly on groups. Anyways, so we want to send out a message to, just Briar, the snow clouds just hung over Briar Middle School and not any of the other buildings. So we can type in all, and then there are all these different options come up. We want to send it to all parents at Briar Middle School. Okay, and that's it, and it's done. But you'll probably also want to send it to staff and teachers and admins as well. So you can come over here and click on the superintendent. All principals at Briar, and then all teachers at Perkins, all the teachers at Briar. And then we can pick in. And so you can pick in all these options, all with just the word all typed in. Or alternatively, we can come over here and select recipients. This is actually the way I do most of my messaging. Okay, so I want to send this to parents at Briar Middle School. Click there. If you actually click this little caret, you can see all the parents' names. And if you want to send them, pick and choose parents, you can do that too, but that would take a lot of time and it's probably not the best use of time. And then, so we also want to send it to the staff at Briar Middle School. So we click on the staff. And then we want to, I'm going to close out of the staff, and we want to send it to teachers. Keep in mind, teachers and staff are different in the system. So we'll want to click all the teachers at Briar Middle School. Okay, so there's that. We probably want to send it to the principal, make sure Mr. Tom gets it as well. We can click on there, and it'll go to Mr. Tom and Mr. Weisenberg. And then, you always want to send stuff to the superintendent, copy him in on everything. We have Dr. Rivera as well as Mrs. McClellan as options here. So you click on them. So easy peasy. And then to save them, all you do is click done. Okay, for this example today, I'm not going to send it to them because they would think I'm a little bit too kooky if I sent out a snowed closing on June 16th. So I'm going to click cancel. I am going to close out of all of this, kill out all those. As much as I would love to send the school closing notice, I'm going to send the school closing notice to one person today. And in the future, when you try this on your own, a little trick, if you want to send an email, a test, send it to yourself. And look, I just type in my last name, I come over here, done. Okay, so this message is going to go out to one recipient, me. Okay, next, the next crucial field is this advanced options. You'll notice your organization. Okay, it's like we were saying, we want to send this just from Briar. So it's going to Briar Middle School. And then we have down here, message category. If you click on it, you can see a lot of different options. I typically just stick with miscellaneous, even in emergency situations. I've used this emergency situation. I don't know what it really does. In our settings, we haven't really utilized this, so it's not important. Just stick to miscellaneous. Next, I have email addresses set up. And this is a little word of caution. If you don't change this, it'll go to your email address will be the reply to email address. So in an event of a school closing, and I've learned this the hard way, and you may have noticed that emails in blizzards and school closings have come from me and not Perkins Local Schools. You want them to come from the school. I have it set up so you can with all the schools, the return email address is actually Perkins Schools at perkinsschools.org. That is an email account that I have set up to monitor these sort of emails. Go with that. That'll save you a lot of chaos and people sending you emails ask, why are we closing schools? There's only a little dusting of snow. It's June. We don't want to close, whatever. So there's that. Okay. Other options, send to all delivery addresses. Every address that you have clicked, it should be on there. We don't need to click on that. You can if you want. I don't know. I've not noticed any differences. Deliver to parents of students. If you're sending an email to the baseball team and you also want it to go to parents, you can click on that and that'll send it to the parents as well. Skip the header, footer prompts for outbound calls. Allow others to send this message, public. I leave that blank. So there we go. And I click save, boom, and we're ready to go. Now there's this next phase. You can put in your message here. School is closed today. due to winter weather in June. I'm going to add also in here, this is a test. Please disregard. I don't want someone to get this message and think, oh my God, the people at Perkins are crazy. They're closing school due to winter weather. Anyways. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so basically we have the message set. Now we want to go in here. If you go in here, if you click on the email, most of our messages do go out via email. And you can see that it carried over the content from the content button to this is a test, please disregard, blah, blah, blah. Now, when you're sending an email message, and it's in a critical communication situation, you can click this button here, additional email templates. If you click, you'll notice I have some different templates. I expect to add to this library of templates as I carry on here. There's incident at school incident, weather closing. I'm going to use weather closing option today as an example. So I click on that and then hit continue. And then an editing window will come open. You have your, this is the headline or the header field or the headline of the message. I'm going to put test, and then you'll see the body of the email. Important, to make sure to not send out all caps, day, month, date, year. You want to type over this. Today, Tuesday, June 16th, 2026. Cut out all of that. And you'll notice I always include the day, the date, and the year. Just style thing. And that way it kind of clears up confusion. So especially if you're closing school to do inclement weather. If you're sending out due to weather, you can go in and be a little more descriptive. We had ice storm or fog or whatever. So I'm ready to go. Kind of read through it twice, made sure it reads okay, made sure my subject, my title line is okay. Test Perkins Local Schools closed today, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm closing that out. So we're good there. Now, maybe I want to send a text message. If I want to send a text message, I click on that. And you will notice it pulls the content from the content field into the text message. So that's a nice short line. It's 82 characters of 140, maximum allowed 140. I don't use text messages a lot in critical communications. I use them for all weather alerts just because a lot of people do look at their text messages, especially in the early morning hours. They might have their phone silenced for voice calls, which I'll get to next, and they may not actually check their email, but they will check text messages. So I do that. If it is a crisis communication situation where there's like an incident, I may not send a text message just because we can't put enough information to explain what's going on. I would rather send an email and a voice message to people so they get more details and they don't get unduly worried. I have used a line on a text message. Please check your email and your voice inbox for an important message from Perkins Local Schools. I've also referred them to the website. Anyways, so there's that. In this case, in the case of text messages, as well as all the messages, make sure you check with supervisor principal, Dr. Rivera, Mrs. McClellan, to find out what they want in a critical communication situation. Voice. And this might be the one that challenges a lot of people. People worry about. I think actually this is probably one of the most important fields because in a critical communication situation, it's good to send a call. And they may may not get an email, they may not get a text. Hopefully they get their voice call on their cell phone. Things here. text to speech. That's the robocall. And it basically takes, this is a test, please disregard, school is closed today. You know, it's got that computer voice that sounds really bad. Not that my voice is good, but I prefer to use my voice in this situation. And so I click on the text to speech option and then come down to call in to record. This is, it's really easy to do. What you do is you call in, you dial this number, and then you enter this code, whatever it is, and it changes. This code will change for every time you use it. And then it'll give you a prompt to tell in the phone. The message will be, please record your message after the beep, kind of thing. It's really easy to use. And what I typically do is I just read my message that I wrote in the content field. School's closed today due to inclement weather. Thank you. Easy. And then when I've done that, following the prompts, it'll tell me to save it and all that. It's easy. So, okay, so we're done. I mean, basically, we're all ready to go. Well, not quite. There's one other step to do. Down here, emergency message. You'll want to click this, especially in a critical situation, whether school incident, whatever. When you click on this, it ignores all unsubscribes and drop me from your list kind of notifications. This overrides that. It goes to all our phone numbers and emails that we have for the students or the parents that we've chosen to send this message to. It also ignores blackout hours, whereas from like 9 p.m. to 7 a.m., I think are the times. We typically try to send out snow closings at about 5:30 in the morning. So we definitely want to click emergency message to ignore the blackout hours. Click confirm. And then lastly down here is the send message button or send it now. Okay. And this is where FinalSite has kind of dropped the ball on intuitiveness. Typically, when you have a critical message, everything's checked over, you're ready to go, you just click send. Easy peasy. But for some reason, maybe you want to send it at 9:15 in the morning, whatever reason. You click now. I know, intuitive. When you want to send it later, you click now. Yeah. Anyways, so you put in your time that you want to send it, and then you click schedule, and it's ready to go. Boom. So to click that, and then you just basically, you're all ready to go. You're going to send an email, text message, and voice. I'm actually going to go back here. I'm going to turn off the voice message because I don't want a voice message coming across on my phone. I will, however, send the email and the text message. And to do that, I am going to send message. Easy. So there it goes. The message is off. It's heading off into my inbox. Okay, now you'll notice here we've opened up the messages outbox field. This is you notice the subject line of the email that I sent just a second ago. You'll see that there was a text message that went and an email message. And if you click on one of these buttons here at the end, another window will come up and it went to everybody. The content. You can see the content that I sent. The text, there it is. Details. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And everything went. And I can click on view recipients. Oh, it went to one person, me. So there it is. So you can monitor that. And I encourage you to monitor your system. So monitor your messages to make sure that they did indeed go out. If they didn't go out, you might want to go take a double check and see what happened. And anyways, there you have it. Go through this, try it out, send an email message to yourself. Send a text message to yourself. Heck, even send a voicemail message to yourself to try it. I encourage everybody to try this before there's a critical communication situation, just because you don't want to be caught in a situation where you're not sure of how to do this. As I said, there's a quick start guide. Have that handy. It's got the URLs. It's actually, I'm going to have it posted on our website. So you can go to perkinsschools.org/emergency messages. There you go. Anyways, I appreciate your time and thank you. If you have any questions, give me a call. Thank you.